and for my ed technology class, I did my thematic unit, my 5 lesson plans over Native Americans, and it focused in language arts, reading, writing, but I also incorporated areas of social studies and history in order to get the Native American background, and so students would understand where the Native Americans come from, not just to be writing about them. My first lesson plan for Monday is a brief overview of Native Americans in general, and my instructional objective was that the students would be able to provide historical and cultural information about a particular Native American tribe. And the way I assessed this was through a PowerPoint presentation that each group, after we talked about Native Americans and researched a little bit, each group would break up and then actually make a PowerPoint presentation involving 6 slides minimum, and this is kind of an example of what that would look like. And with my rubric, I would have each slide would be assessed individually on the rubric, and also with like creativity and accuracy and details such as that. For my backup plan, if the PowerPoint does not go through, we would talk about the handouts, and then instead of using the internet to resource and to look up information, we would use books and then make a poster board presentation instead of PowerPoint. My second lesson plan, which was on Tuesday, my instructional objectives, it focuses on imagery with our writing. This is all 5th grade assignments, I didn't mention that earlier. But so imagery as the standard, and then the students would be able to identify the use of imagery within works and create their own sentences using imagery, and also identify the elements of poetry. And to do this, we have many activity sheets, which I don't have here, but they're online. And just talking about imagery and different aspects of imagery. The technology I used was the internet, and it was just a website to focus on imagery and to go along through sentences and examples of imagery, and using the 5 senses in sentences to make them user or reader friendly. My backup plan was to just pass out one of the worksheets that I already had included in the lesson plan, but to just go with that instead of using both the worksheet and the internet as our guide. Day 3, so lesson 3 is also about Native Americans, go figure. And my instructional objective is to identify main concepts in Native American literature while also studying the culture. And to do this, I assessed it using a flip book, and we read 3 different stories, and then talked about the author and watched a video segment on the author's main website about him to find background information about the author. And then we read 3 books and discussed and had certain questions that they had read about, and made that into a flip book. And for my backup plan, it was just read the author section in one of the books, because they're all by the same author, so just select the book and read the back cover. Then the rubric was also about the book. Day 4 was focused on writing, and the students would write a Native American personal story, so they'd make a narrative, and that would also have a rubric to it. But on top of that, we would make a vodcast, which is like a podcast, only with video. And that would be just them presenting their story and the stories that they created that they would be graded on to the class. And as a backup plan, if the vodcast didn't go through, they would just present them to the class instead of actually presenting them online, so we wouldn't watch them through smartboard and through the computer, so everyone could see those. Day 5, as a little like Native American wrap-up type thing, we would talk about folk tales in general and Native American porqué tales. I'm not sure how to say that, but they are simply they explain why and how something in nature is the way it is. So like why the moon comes out at night and things like that. And to do this, the technology was hardware, and they would make a digital story and actually create their own folktale, Native American folktale, to explain why something the way it is, why the grass is green or why the sky is blue or something like that. And they would create a digital story as a group and then present it to the class. And if the technology wasn't working, the backup plan would just be to create a hard copy with writing and illustrations to focus on the actual narrative and their tale, which was the objective of the lesson.